wrestling every year since, so you can do the math on that. And I got into it because of a man by the name of John Miazda. And he's pretty well the reason I'm here today and why everybody here is today. He started the arm wrestling in Alberta. He ran competitions. He started the Canadians competition. Then he was the first one to actually put on a world's competition where he had other countries come over. There was India that he got over, Brazil, and England, I believe. And that was really something, unique and unusual to have these come over.
Back then, before the days of the internet, how did you contact other countries? How did you know there was arm wrestling in other countries?
Well, you'd had to know John. He knew everybody in the sport. He was a fanatic. He would do anything to get a hold of them. And although he didn't look like he was an arm wrestler, he was long, lanky, no shoulders, but his love was the sport. And he lived and breathed the sport. He could go anywhere and promote the sport. He was a promoter 100% of the time. And he wasn't arrogant about his ways, but he could get people to listen. And we travel a lot with him. He'd get the whole plane interested in arm wrestling. He was just that type of character. And I've been in, like I said, 77, and I haven't met anybody that even came close to his character or charisma or love of the sport. It was just was one of a kind.
So he's responsible for arm wrestling in Canada?
Initially, no. I would say the guy that first started the arm wrestling in Canada he's here today. His name is Keith Coney.
Really?
Right. And John got a hold of him, and they were butting heads for a while because they more or less two associations. Finally, they did get together, but all in all, John prevailed and got the worlds and got one up on Keith, and then they joined forces and went that way.
So you've been arm wrestling since 1977.
Yeah, that's a long time, isn't it?
I was born in 72.
Yeah.
So that's pretty.
So was my daughter was born in 71, and she's been she's been arm wrestling ever since I took her to the kids competition, so she's had 20 some years experience already too under her belt, but a lot of it was kids.
So how long will you continue arm wrestling?
Well, I probably would have last year put my arm up Canadians, and I won. And so until I lose, and I lose badly, but when I don't place, I'll simply say, okay, I have had enough. I shouldn't be beating these young guys as it is, and I still am. So.
So do you do any training? You just
no, I haven't done any training at all this year, really? And I deserve what I get. If I had done some training, it would have been. I think I'm still in the competition, but I could have been on maybe on the A side rather than on the B side now. I don't prepare anything different for arm wrestling than I did for my daily routine, going to work or back.
Yeah, but the average 50-something or 60-something-year-old man that I meet who doesn't arm wrestle, they're not in physical shape like you guys.
There's things like genetics too, But no, I don't have a special diet. I don't work out.
So you're just naturally strong.
That's right, yeah.
Really? And you've beaten these guys, 20, 30-year-old guys, or just taking
Yes, I've been so far up to this time. Maybe this year is going to be a different year.
That's pretty impressive, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
I'm Mark Shannon, the Wild Man. I've been twisting for 23 years. If you can't make noise at a tournament, nothing's happening. Usually I'll come to a tournament, nobody's making any noise, so I come in and say, rev them up, let's get them going. And then before you know it, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, I'm the type of guy that's going to get you going. The Madman Shannon, I'll do her. If no one else does, I'll get you pumped.
Well, thank you very much. It really helps keep the excitement up.
Yeah, you'll hear me lots. Everybody thinks I'm a little loud, but what the heck, eh?
It's motivating. Now
you only live once.
You're from Alberta.
I'm from Alberta. Originally from Fredericton, New Brunswick, but I went out to Alberta and became a mountain man. And when you got to deal with the Rockies, you're in trouble.
How long have you been arm wrestling?
23 years.
And how did you get started in arm wrestling?
I started arm wrestling back in New Brunswick in 1980. I had the arm wrestling challenge. I used to go around New Brunswick and offer $200 cash prize if anybody could beat me. And Silvio Burke, I don't know if you know him. He's one of the popular guys here, Silvio Burke. Him and his brother seen a poster that said arm wrestling challenge. Anybody can beat this guy, he'll pay them $200. So they came after me, and I think I beat 15 guys in a row at the tournament, and took everybody's money and went home.
How much did you charge them to get in the challenge?
Just $20 entry fee.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just going out of town, just anybody can beat me.
Yeah. And then after the arm wrestling tournament was over, I'd wrestle every guy first place in their division, and then I'd take 84 guys out of the crowd and beat them all too. But I was young and full of piss and vinegar then. I'm 45 now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Unbelievable day so far, isn't it right? This year's recipient for the John Yazdick Trophy is none other than Mr. Ryan Espy.
Was it worth it? Hey? Hey? He pulled his hair out this weekend. Ryan, hope you better look for a moment.
I'd just like to tell everybody here how much this really means to me. It's more than any title I could ever win. And I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for coming to this tournament and awarding me this.
You're the man. You're one of the first guys in the western part of Canada to get arm wrestling started. Is that
yeah, I guess I got it as a sport. I was the first one that got it started in Canada.
So how did that happen? What did you do? I mean,
well, actually, to be honest with you, I just always dreamt of going to Petaluma, California, and I went down there in the early 70s. And when I came back to Canada, there was no organized sport in Canada in arm wrestling, so I got it started back in 1975.
1975. So you went to Petaluma. So you met Dave Devoto back then?
Oh yes, I knew Dave Devoto, Bill Sobranis. That's right. You know.
So when you went back to Canada, what'd you do? How'd you get it? Arm wrestling.
Well, I'd never been beaten in Canada, so I figured, well, I got to go someplace to see if I can be beat. So I went down to Petaluma, California, and I found out I could be beat.
So when you said we need to organize arm wrestling in Canada, what was the step you took to get there? How'd you do it?
Well, I went to the actually the sports committee in my local community, and I went to the government. There was nothing involved in the arm wrestling sport at all, and so at that time we called it wrist wrestling because of Petaluma, and so I organized it and set up a committee and set up a board and organized the sport. And we held the first Canadian Championships in 1976 is the first year we held it, and then we amalgamated the two sports in 1993 from arm wrestling and wrist wrestling together. Well, we kind of knew that the things were happening, but I don't think we knew how big it was on either side of the country. And we had competitors that came out from the east and competed in the west, and I know the western competitors went out to the east and competed also. So we did really realize that it was out there, but we just never organized it to the point where we put it all together. And it wasn't until years later that we amalgamated the two in 1993. We amalgamated the two associations together. Well, actually, when we hit 1993, we decided we're going to put everything together. We set up provinces, and we made sure that each province had their shirts, made sure that each province was competing at the national championships at a national level. So we wanted to make sure that unity was there, because we knew if we were going to ever get the sport into the Olympics, that had to be unified within the country. And so we had that realization, and everybody came together and gelled real well, and we realized it was for the betterment of the sport.
Do you have any advice for U.S. arm wrestlers, what they could do to better organize their country?
You know, I think they have to look at a much broader point of view as far as the sport itself, and as a competitor, and as a country, and as states. They have to gel together, realize that they have to do it for the betterment of the sport for everybody, and because it's their kids and their grandchildren, and they're going to really benefit from this all, and we want to make sure that we bring it all together at that point. even though it's an individual sport, it really is a team sport at the same time. Again, if we look at it, it's an individual competitor competing against another competitor, but at the same time, again, if you want to make it a Olympic sport, which you all hope to, and that's everybody's dream, you have to realize the fact you have to do it for your country, you have to do it for your province, you know, to unify it. And we want to set example around the world of how it can be done.
I hope someday gets the Olympics. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
And Dave Dorado says hello.
Good, thank you. Say hi to him for me.
Thanks.
Looking forward to seeing him.
You know,
Take care.
I was expecting exactly what I saw today as far as tough matches, upsets. I mean, everybody coming here to win, of course, but there's always somebody's got to lose. And that's what you've seen. There's great matches, and you've seen how versatile everybody was with different, you know, techniques that they're using and stuff like that. And everybody had fun with it. You
What
know,
were
like,
some of the top names who showed up that did what you expected or got upset? Or?
bigger classes, you know, I was looking forward to seeing, you know, guys like Mike Gould. I was glad that Len made it out. Ryan Empsey, he's been working hard, and you know, it's a lot of pressure. He won a world title before. He's got the big guys here in Canada that are out for him again. He proved himself. Guys like Sylvain Perron comes out, he's just invincible strength, and he showed that today as well. The guys in the smaller classes, we had Crazy George, who, you know, a lot of people around the world already know who he is, and he proved himself again why he's the best in Canada. Our girls' classes like Tamara, you know why she travels around the world too. She does very well, and great sportsman. Us lower class guys, not lower class, but just lower in class. You know, we try and put on the big show like the big guys too. You know, some of us like to ham it up. It was great getting together with Prairie and being able to ham it up a little bit and get the audience involved, and you can see what type of response we can get from the audience by getting them fired up. And you know, they're into this stuff too as much as we are, and you know, they probably wish that they could get their arms in there too, but they can't do that. The next best thing is out there and giving us their support, and you know, they have a love for the sport too. So.
Man, your guys' country is so united with the teams and the shirts and everything. The U.S. isn't like that.
Yeah, well, we have a good camaraderie between each other, and we don't get to see each other all the time. It's like the States, the East Side and the West Side. You know, even when I compete down the States, it's always down the West Side, where the guys on Eastern Canada always go down the East Side as well. So when we get together, it's once a year, and you know, we reunite our friendships again. It's like we haven't been apart for that year. And it's good to see these guys. You know, we can battle with them, and we know that's the guy we got to beat. But afterwards, it's all over. It's, you know, the better man won, and now you know what you got to work for next year to either beat that guy or look forward to who else is coming.